Hi, Kevin. Welcome.
Hi Gladys, it's a pleasure you hosting me today.
Yeah, karibu sana. We met, was it 2 years ago when you were preparing to leave Kenya for the UK for your PhD, right?
Yeah, time has really flown by. Uh, it's the time we were trying to venture out and see what happens in this other side of the world. But now I think we
Yeah.
are pioneers. We've sort of learned a lot about this other side and adopted as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, great. Tell us who are you and where are you in the UK?
Yeah. So I'm Kevin Otiato. So I'm currently in Oxford. Where I'm studying for my DPhil in engineering science.
Where before you left Kenya, where were you studying?
Yeah, so just beginning, I've studied at quite different places. So beginning from my nursery school, so I studied in Kisumu briefly, and then moved to Siaya County for my primary education, and then returned to Kisumu again for my high school education, and then I was sort of tired of being around Nyanza and Kisumu, and decided to apply to Dedan Kimathi University in Nyeri. So that's where I undertook my undergrad education.
Okay. Actually, we will not go all the way back to nursery and primary school, but tell us more about, we will talk more about Oxford life, how you got to know about the scholarships, and then just life there. But it's good you've taken us back to undergrad. What course were you studying in Dekut, and why did you choose to do that course?
Yeah, so at Dekut, I studied electrical and electronics engineering. So that was my major, but then the minor was in light current, so sort of electronics and control engineering and telecommunications. So coming back to what influenced me to take the course, I've kind of had different ambitions growing up. So I can remember back while in primary school, I wanted to be a teacher, and this was mainly influenced by me seeing teachers as the only valuable people around. So the only good occupation that I could think of was being a teacher. And then early into high school, I kind of thought of becoming a lawyer. So I even remember having a conversation, a difference with my geography teacher, because I was good at geography and also good at CRE and history and government. And there was this notion that you could not be a lawyer if you did geography, and if you did not do history or CRE. So I had a different choice. I had to make a difficult choice of dropping geography for history so that I could be a lawyer. But then little did I know that this would change 1 year later. So 1 year later, I found myself really interested in sciences. So physics, to be specific, and I'm also good at maths. So that kind of changed my perspective, and I started thinking about engineering. So electrical engineering was sort of my main option at that moment. But then, being a performer, I was also thinking about medicine. I toyed around. I toyed around with the idea of taking medicine as well. So I've had sort of evolving preferences for the career courses to take. But I think when the results were out, I knew that I was going to perform well. And when the results were out, I got a airplane, which meant that I could really do my choices of courses. But then I fell short of going to medical school. So my cutoff point could not make it to medical school. and that's when now I decided that, oh, let me go with my main option of electrical engineering. So that's when I now applied to Dan Kimathi. I wanted to apply to University of Nairobi and all that because of the prestige and what people associate it with. But then I could not make it as well. My cutoff points were a little bit lower. So I said, wow, what can be done at University of Nairobi can be done as well in Dan Kimathi. And that's when I applied to Dan Kimathi.
No, interesting. And I have so many follow-up questions regarding your life at Dekut or just generally your life in campus. But if you were to go back to after Form 4, if right now, would you choose the same course or you would go with medicine this time?
No, I think I'm enjoying electrical engineering and the discoveries that come with it. Like I think right now, like I've evolved so much in this field. So I think of important ideas like energy access and all those kind of cool stuff in the electrical engineering domain. Well, medicine is still great, but I think there are people who are really good at it, and I'll just leave them to go with it. But for me, I think I can choose electrical engineering again, figuring in mind that I already had this idea when I was even in Form 3. Yeah, so I think I would go again for electrical engineering, just to be precise with the response.
No, excellent. In reflecting back to your life in campus, and I want you to reflect back. I'm asking this question for the sake of those guys. There's thousands, if not millions, or maybe it's thousands of students who are currently preparing to start their life in campus this August and September and October. When you reflect back to campus, what is one thing that you know now that you wish someone had told you about campus and just maybe generally how to optimize or utilize all the opportunities in campus, or just general life in campus? A lesson that those students who are preparing to start their campus life can learn from.
Well, I think the most important thing is to it's the knowledge that grades matter. Doing well at your undergrad level or any other level matter. Let no one tell you that education is no longer viable and all that, so that you don't really work hard at your undergrad level or at any other education level. So grades do matter, and they matter from the word go. So the moment you start your academics at the undergrad level, really put in the best and know that you are building up to something in the future. So the reason as to why I'm saying this is because of the great importance that is laid to your performance when you are looking even for opportunities at postgrad level. So I was living this life of a scholar without knowing it, because my intention was not to like come out of undergrad and then look for scholarship opportunities for postgrad studies. But I found that my good performance and the hard work that I put at that level really put me at a better place of like getting these opportunities. So I would really advise someone to really put in the hard work from the word go, and really know that whatever your scores are at that level, they really put you at a table somewhere later on. So don't play with it. Just put in your best from the word go.
That, in fact, your story, and I think many people, even my friends, when we were chatting and reflecting, when we arrived in campus, I think we were told, you know what, grades no longer matter over here, just finish and then get a job. And then later on, when we were now applying, and even personally, I got to know about these opportunities to study abroad. I got to know about them later in life, like later in fifth year. And I was so happy that I had kind of kept good grades all along, because then the opportunity that I got later on, I don't think I was going to get it. So I like that advice. And it reminds me of this quote that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and the opportunity not to come than the other way around. And so I really like
opportunity
that.
is really great when it meets preparedness. Yeah.
Yes. Truly. What do you think? And I know we'll talk about the Rhodes Scholarship, but what do you think about balancing the grades and also the talents you have while you are in campus? Because I feel like there is a lot of time and a lot of energy, and many people are like less responsibilities. They have a lot of free time and all that, and a lot of energy in campus. And I feel like sometimes we waste that energy and that time. What would you say about using your talents outside class at the same time trying to keep your grades?
Yeah, I think just to go back to whatever I've said, like about the performance. Remember, the performance is the bare minimum. Performance is the bare minimum that takes you to fulfilling the eligibility criteria for applying for a scholarship, right? Or these other opportunities. But then on top of that, it should not only be performance, but also balancing it with other aspects in life. So think of leadership, taking up leadership roles. Think of volunteering. So volunteer to different causes that matter to you. Think of helping the needy around the community. So those kind of stuff, they really build up your CV, and not that you are doing that for the scholarship, but I think it's also fulfilling in doing that. So you sort of get to utilize your extra time, and you develop as a person from doing this. So I remember while I was in campus, so I took up this role of mentoring other people in web design. I was not really good at it, but I just putting myself outside there to mentor others really stood out for me. Like reflecting on it, it really shows that you are someone who is ready to share whatever knowledge you have with others and at your free time. So we used to do that over the weekends, and also founding a society with there was a society at Didan Kimathi, the Innovators Club. So sort of bringing together engineering students to take part in innovation projects. So these are things that I did unknowingly, because I was just doing them to utilize my extra time over the weekend and in the evenings. But then they really came up really handy. So when I was doing my CV, or when I was writing my essays, I really thought they came in really handy. And I think that's a good way to utilize your extra time.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, and we'll talk more about that. But when you reflect back, what is one outstanding moment?
Yeah, so I think my outstanding moments are majorly academic, sort of to say. That is what I can think of, and I mean it was in my first year. So my outstanding moment was in first year. So I did my high school in a day school in Kisumu. So and this when I reflect about it, it's really like an important story that I usually tell about my life. It's because I was when I did my primary school, I passed so well, and I was invited to join Kapsabet High School, but I wasn't able to because of the lack of tuition fee. So in that moment, I was able to go to Lions High School, which is a day primary school, day secondary school in Kisumu. And I remember the words of one teacher who told me that whatever you can achieve at Kapsabet, you can as well achieve it here. And those words stuck with me. And in fact, even when the results for Form 4 were released, I really found those words to be true. So fast forward into campus life. So here you are from a day school, and then you are meeting people from Alliance, from all these national schools, and sort of you are not really confident about your capabilities, sort of imposter syndrome. So you are you see these people as really perfect. They really know what they are doing and all that kind of thing. And when we did our first exam, that is the first semester exam, I emerged like the top of my class. And I think that's the outstanding moment for me in campus, because I didn't think that I could pull it through because of the imposter syndrome that I had during the first semester. So I thought like, oh, you've been doing great in high school, but now here you're meeting people from Alliance and all that kind of thing, and all those big schools, and emerging the top of my course for that semester is really outstanding to me. But then I think there are also other outstanding moments in campus. So my dating journey didn't go really well in campus, the beginning years of campus. But then I managed to find a partner who is now my wife. Yeah, so I think that was really great. That was really great. I owe my relationship journey to campus life. Yeah. So other moments are during the weekends. You go out with hiking. I liked hiking as well. They are strangers. I think that's the remarkable one that I did. So sort of challenging yourself physically to climb up the ranges and all that kind of thing. So after that day, you are really tired and you want to rest and you want to wind up. So I think those are the outstanding moments, really, if I can think of any.
No, thank you for sharing, and it's really commendable. Actually, if you do not mind sharing, so you mentioned about the transformation that happened. You went from a day school and you were topping in one of the top Kenya universities in the first semester in an engineering course, so which is very commendable. And then, what do you think? Was it the mindset?
Yeah, I really think I would just owe it to smart working, sort of smart studying, sort of, because when you go to a place, when you enter a place, you can you tend of sort to think that people are better than you and all that kind of thing, based on where they come from or how you perceive how you perceive them out of the outside value or what has been said in the society. So sort of the imposter syndrome. But then when you get to when you get to work, and you sort of also realize what they are good at and what you are good at and what you bring to the table, and sort of form study groups or sort of things like that, it really helps you to become at par and to compete favorably with them. So I think it was just my mind playing games. It was not really that coming from a day school into campus and then encountering people from other universities that you perceive to be better than where you are, from other high schools that you perceive to be better from where you come from. I don't think it's really a real thing, but it's what sort of we put in our mind. It's sort of a myth that has been perpetrated for long. So I think regardless of where you come from, you can be able to get into a space and get whatever you want if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing. And I just wanted that kind of explanation because it's very unique. Sometimes coming from such a small place and then making it in campus, but it's really commendable. I wanted to commend you on that, but I also wanted to know the thinking behind why you were able to talk. But what I've taken away from your life in campus, you were doing everything. Like you were doing well in class, you were hiking and doing all these innovation stuff. And then you are one of those students who graduated with more than one degree, right? Like the degree, the paper, and a girlfriend who turned to be your wife later.
Yeah, I owe those two to them.
Well done on utilizing your school fees very well.
Yeah.
No, that is really good. Now, I'm very curious to know at what point did you, because I feel like when I think back to when I was in fourth year, fifth year, I was super confused because there was quite a number of pathways after graduation, right? You people were thinking about industry. Many people were thinking about industry and particularly making money. I think that was the main thing. And then very few were talking about postgraduate opportunities. At what point did you know which path were you aiming for?
My journey, people usually get surprised when I tell people that I wasn't really thinking of applying for scholarship until I graduated. So back then, my main aim was to get out of the university, graduate, and sort of start practicing engineering. So my idea was to get into a consultancy. So I've been my motivation is my goal, not really a motivation, but a goal is to get into consulting, and I like teaching as well. So get into consulting and teach as well. So training guys is part of what is something that I like. So teaching something to others. So I was aiming at getting either of the two. So either getting into consulting, which I found that was not really ripe in Kenya. Like there are not so much opportunities. We've not grown to that level of having embracing research and design, sort of to speak. And so I tried looking for opportunities in Polytechnic. I think I tried looking for opportunities at Kisumu Polytechnic, which is really close to my place. But then I kinda got frustrated by the conditions, the working conditions of of graduate engineers in Kenya. So I'm just putting this out. I know it differs from one person to another, but I sort of saw it that if I can improve my skills and sort of get an exposure through a graduate study, I can then be more impactful in the field, or I think be more impactful. That is the best. That is the best word that I wanted to use. So that is when the scholarship application came to me. Like, can I try applications to scholarships? And I think I reached out to one of my campus professors, and he's the one who encouraged me that I should not only look into Kenya but look outside as well, because my initial thought was to start from close by home to get a research assistant role in Dedan Kimathi, and try to work alongside a lecturer who could mentor me. But then this lecturer encouraged me to look even beyond Kenya, and this is when now I really started actively looking for scholarships.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this was I imagine, was this in your final year?
No, this was actually after graduating. This when I was talking to my lecturer about my prospects after like sort of being frustrated by the opportunities that are there for graduate engineers. This is when now I started reaching out to one of my professors, and I shared to him my desire to be his research assistant at Dedan Kimathi, and this is when he encouraged me to even look beyond Kenya, and with my grades, he told me, like, look, your grades are fantastic. You can actually land more opportunities outside there. So that is when this whole world of scholarships opened up to me, and I now became more interested in scholarship and started actively looking for them.
Mm-hmm. So at what point did you know, who told you about the Rhodes scholarship?
So the Rhodes scholarship, I found about it from our class WhatsApp group. So someone just posted that this scholarship is open. People can try. So we do post opportunities in our class WhatsApp group. That is the campus research group, campus class group. So there was that opportunity there, and then I thought to myself that this is something that I can try, and then I teamed with one of my classmates, so that we can keep each other in check when applying for scholarship, because we had the same interest at that particular point, so we could keep each other in check and ensure that we meet the deadlines. So I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, we can give this a try, because we both had first class honors, and that is one of the eligibility criteria for Rhodes scholarship. And so we began applying. But then a month later, I think another scholarship was opening. That is the DAD scholarship, the German government scholarship, was also opening, and it was posted on the university website. So it's an opportunity that was posted on Didan Kimathi website. And we also decided that, yeah, we can take on these applications together. So we were doing application for DAD scholarship as well as the Rhodes scholarship. But then their deadlines were in August. So submitting them, we decided to proceed even with more scholarships. So I ended up applying to about 8 scholarships or so. I didn't complete some of them towards the end, but it's because I had won a scholarship, so I didn't see a need of completing the rest. And I think teaming up with this classmate really helped me. It helped me to really stay focused on this journey, and not to think that I'm in this alone. So we were keeping each other in check, and helping each other review our essays, while we had not gotten like some prospective scholarship winners who could help us in that. So it was really a good strategy looking back at that.
No, wonderful. And I know the Rhodes scholarship is still open until the end of this month, I think. So for the guys who are currently applying, and we did a live stream sometimes back, so guys can check that recorded live stream. But what advice would you give guys who are currently applying?
Yeah, so I think for the Rhodes scholarship, the first important tip that I give people, and I keep on saying this to people who reach out to me time without number, is not to disqualify yourself. You are good enough, and your story is inspiring in some way. You might not know about it. I was in that position as well. So had I not taken the chance to just apply, just submit my application, I had not been here. I could have not been here right now. So the first step and the first tip is to have faith in your abilities and not disqualify yourself. Because if you don't put in your application, then you are eliminating yourself from even being considered. That is the first thing. But then the second tip, and the most important one that goes towards writing your statement, is say your story as it is. Don't try to make your story fit another person that you view may be successful or fitting the scholarship, or such kind of things. So your story is as good as it is, and you are unique. There's no one way of being a Rhodes scholar, as we normally say. That's a really common quote that I get around Rhodes scholarship currently. There's no one way to be a Rhodes scholar. There's no one way to win the scholarship, and there's no one way to lead. So you are unique, and write your stories the way you'd like the reviewers and the selectors to see you. Tell them in your statement the way you'd want them to see you in your writing, and that would make them invite you to for the interview. That is if you pass through other eligibility criteria. Yeah, so I'm a Rhodes Scholar 2022. So just to proceed with it, we submitted our applications, of course, with my friend. So he did not manage to get an invitation to the Rhodes interview, but then he got another one. So that's the goodness of spreading your options. So after submitting the applications, I went on with applying for other scholarships and looking for other options, waiting for this response to come back. So in November, in late October, I received this call and I'm told that you have been shortlisted for the Rhodes Scholarship interview. So this came with mixed feelings. So I didn't even know that I would make it, because looking at the possibility of being among the 2 scholars from Kenya, that was just mind-boggling. Like, making it to that shortlist was something that I really wanted, but didn't really know that it was going to come true. But then I was invited to the interview, and by God's grace, I attended the interview, and I think a day later, I received an email first confirming that I was indeed the Rhodes Scholar, and yeah, from then applications for the courses began, and I think at this particular point now you have a lot of support from the past Rhodes Scholars, and that is when I even got to meet Gladys officially via email. So we began chatting at that particular time. So the moment you win the scholarship, the kind of support widens, and you find that Rhodes Scholarship is really amazing community.
Talk about how was your transition from Kenya when you got the scholarship. How was the transition from Kenya to transitioning abroad? And I understand that was your first time leaving Kenya for a long time. So how was that? And also, how was the journey? You opted to do a PhD without a master's degree. How was that? How was Oxford as an environment, imposter syndrome and all those things?
Okay, so I think this begins the journey after winning the scholarship. The journey begins from the applications that come immediately after winning the scholarship. So yeah, you have to put in applications to the University of Oxford at that moment. So I put in 2 applications. So the scholarship sponsors you for 2 years. That is the basic the minimum tenancy for the scholarship. So you have to select like 2 courses. So for me, I had the intention of taking energy systems masters, and then in my second year I wanted to take an MBA, and then leave Oxford. But then the second option, that was my sort of the secret option. The secret option was to come in for the direct DPhil. So that was my second option. So I ended up applying at that particular time. I applied for the Masters in Energy Systems and the Engineering Science DPhil. That is related to energy system as well. So my project is in energy system. So they were sort of related. So either of them was fine with me. So I could come in for either of them. But then when I did the applications and the results were out for the admission results were out, so I didn't receive an admission to master's program, but I got admitted to the DPhil program. And thinking about it, the DPhil program, I thought about the DPhil program because of the benefits that it brings. Like with the DPhil program, you can be sponsored by Rhodes for the 3rd year. So if you come immediately into a DPhil program, the Rhodes scholarship is able to extend your financing based on the performance to the 3rd year. So I thought to myself, I'm interested in research already. So what if I can just go ahead and join a DPhil program? and do the research rather than getting into a master's and then graduating and then sort of moving into a DPhil. So with these admission results that I was able to earn a space in the DPhil program. Yeah, that was good. That was all good with me. So I decided to just come up to pursue the DPhil. So fast forward the preparations to coming to Oxford. Of course, the March time, during March, it's always nervous because you don't know whether you are going to get admission or not. Because even with the first class honors, admission to Oxford is still competitive, and you have to live to that fact that it is competitive. So after the admissions, I now started preparing the documentation to travel and all that kind of thing. And then I arrived in Oxford. So it was surprise, but a good surprise that systems work here. Yeah, it was my first time being out of Kenya, and I remember we had a layover in Amsterdam, which went overnight. So we didn't expect it to be that long, but we missed our next flight. So we had to be rescheduled into the next day's flight, the next morning. So just from Amsterdam, things were different. Systems are working and all that kind of thing. And then into Oxford, adopting was really easier on my side because I'd already researched a lot. Remember when I was doing the application for the scholarships, I was even coming to the Oxford University website and looking at the different labs and looking at the Google map where they're situated and all that kind of thing, and asking people who have been ahead of me, like Gladys, what should I expect and how is it that is this done and all that kind of thing. So I think that really prepared me. So I didn't really receive a lot of surprises. So I was just confirming what I had, most of what I had from people. Yeah, but again, I think there are a lot of differences between life in Kenya and here. Life in Kenya, where I come from, and here. So it's just about blending in, and I'm sort of an adaptable person. I sort of adopt very fast, so I'm able to learn the mood around me, and I go by it. So I think that really helps to blend in and to really value what other people are doing that is different from what you've been doing or what you believe in. So you accept people for who they are and what they do, and not having sort of prejudices about what they believe in and what they value, because we sort of don't have similar backgrounds, so you don't expect everyone to believe in what you believe in. Coming back to the joining the DPhil and starting the labs. So I think coming in, you still meet really smart people. You meet really smart people and you begin wondering, do I even fit to be here? Did the person who brought me here make a mistake? So I kind of struggled with that, and I think everyone does. You sort of think you're not good enough, and the person that made the decision that you win the scholarship did not make the right choice. But I think it settles with time. So for me, the thought of even coming directly to the DPhil there was a point at the beginning I sort of thought of it as maybe I made a wrong choice because I didn't have like enough research background. Like I'd not even published a paper when I was coming in. So that really sort of made me start thinking that is it worthwhile proceeding on this path, or I can as well degrade myself and do a master's while it is still early. But then time going by, I think I've come to value one thing about the DPhil that keeps me grounded. That possibly you are the only one who knows what you are doing, even better than your supervisor. So at times I go into a meeting and I sort of explain to my supervisor what I've been up to, and they're like, "This is interesting. Tell me more." And sometimes you are, when you are doing this, you are even thinking that, "Oh, I'm not really worthy. I'm not really doing something important." But then you find that you are the expert. You will sort of, and I've come to realize that I've come to have this conviction that at the end of your degree, you might be even knowledgeable than your supervisor in this field, in whatever you are doing. So, getting into those meetings and knowing that what I've done the past 2 weeks or so is something substantial and important, and I'm trying to push the boundaries of knowledge in this field. I think that is what has kept me grounded, and I think that all DPhil students who are at this phase of like thinking that whatever you are doing is not significant enough, or was it even a good idea to do a DPhil from the first place? Like sometimes you get to that point. I think what you should be thinking about is the result. The result will be amazing, and it will be something that it will be your contribution, sort of.
Mm-hmm. And I think you've touched on that. I wanted to ask, because you are about to go into your third year, so you still have 1 year or so left of your journey. But I wanted to ask what has been, when you look back to when you started the journey, what has been a challenge as a PhD student?
Okay, I think the challenge that most of the PhD students stick with, and I'm not an exemption, is the idea, as I've said, the idea of feeling that your work, maybe due to the failed experiments, you think that your work is not meaningful, and sort of thinking back when you are performing well in class and you are receiving sort of appreciation for doing well and all that kind of thing, that is not in the DPhil at the beginning. So sort of, if you are a person who thinks that you will receive these accolades every time, it's a long process. The DPhil is a long process. So you might be working 2 years down the line, you haven't received something, you haven't gotten to some important findings that you are proud of. But I think knowing that it's is a marathon. So waking up every morning to tilt that needle further and sort of fulfill those goals that you set when you were beginning the DPhil. I think that is the best way that I try to overcome this the feeling of being inadequate or the imposter syndrome. Yeah. What again to do, as I forgot about the other part.
The the most fulfilling part of this journey.
Yeah, the most fulfilling part of the journey is, I think, to me, is ability to learn other skills that people don't associate the DPhil with. So I think the DPhil does not only teach you to go and teach. Like, that's the perception that people have. But I think there are a lot of other important skills. Sort of, for me, I think I've really sort of to branch off from my DPhil, from my regular DPhil work. I sort of get time to do stuff like data analysis and data visualization, things that are really key even in my DPhil journey. So, as you know, presenting results and telling amazing stories from the results, that is a skill that I think I've really spent my extra time to hone during my DPhil. Also taking part in other activities, sort of the leadership activities. So, I've been able to join Engineers Without Borders UK, which is an amazing community of engineers around here. So it sort of helps you to know what happens practice-wise in engineering profession, this other side. So and also serving in their executive committee, helping with some technical stuff. So that has been an amazing. It's like a wholesome journey when you look at the DPhil. It's like a wholesome journey. Apart from just gaining apart from just pushing the needle in terms of the research, you are also having this time learning other lots of skills, interacting with the people in your field or outside your field. So that has sort of been fulfilling in the journey.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing, and we obviously wish you all the best with the rest of the journey. But as we end, I want you to reflect back to when you were arriving in the UK, and someone was asking me about the culture shocks abroad. What would you say was what shocked you the most?
I think when I came in, I thought that people were kind, right? So I thought of sort of carrying on the greeting people, greeting everyone around, sort of in the road and everywhere you meet people, sort of greeting people. But I realized that this other side, people don't really greet in that formal way that we do, sort of having a chat when you meet someone and all that kind of thing. So it's really rushed. So sort of you can just make faces at people and you go by your way. So I'm learning to do that, but I'm sort of the fan of, I'm a fan of when you meet someone, you stand and you have a proper chat and then you part ways, but that doesn't happen here. So people are really focused on what they are doing and all that kind of thing. Yeah, but yeah, I think that was the but I kind of got to learn about it, to learn how people greet each other here very early on, because I came and I tried greeting people, and sort of you could think that people are arrogant, or they don't just wanna, because they don't greet you back. Some don't greet you back, and yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
I
also
was laughing
do the same?
because totally get that. Yes. I remember when I arrived in my lab and I was just
Yeah,
smiling
even when
and
you
saying hi
get to the
everyone,
lab,
and people are
get
like,
get
what
down to
is
the
wrong
work.
with this girl?
Yeah. Or you just
Yes.
say a
You might
collective greeting,
yes.
and
Yeah.
whoever hears,
Which is very
whoever, if they don't hear you, that's okay. You go down to your desk and you get to work. Yeah, so
yeah.
I've
Very
not
interesting.
mentioned my DPhil project.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so my DPhil is engineering science. So in Oxford, sort of they try to bring engineering disciplines together. So yeah, the degree is engineering science, but there are different specialization in it. So mine be having electrical engineering background, so I'm doing DPhil in engineering science, but energy systems. So to the core of what I'm doing, I am working on clean cooking transition in sub-Saharan Africa. So sort of trying to incorporate cooking into the use of solar PV systems. So we know that these systems are power limited. Sort of when for a family, a typical family, we can in sub-Saharan Africa they can only afford a small size of solar PV that cannot be able to power lighting and all those lighting and incorporate cooking as well. So the research I'm working on is to try and incorporate cooking into the solar PV systems. So sort of cooking under power limited conditions. So in it, I'm researching efficient cooking, which is sort of trying to bring in the aspect of insulating the pots and also human behavior. I'm working alongside a food scientist in the lab who sort of brings the food science aspects into my project. So how people cook some people prefer to use the lid. So we know that the use of the lid has large implications on the energy that you use in cooking, but typical families rarely do that. So we are evaluating how that helps in improving the efficiency, and then sort of making the cooking smart. So trying to automate the cooking process, because when you automate the cooking, then you reduce the human interference with the process, and sort of make the energy that you input go direct into cooking. So we are also trying to, in the project, we are trying to study different changes when cooking different meals, different thermal and chemical changes when cooking different meals that can help us in turn to automate the cooking process, so that you don't have to interfere with the process, hence losing more heat, so that we can incorporate cooking into power limited conditions such as the solar PV systems.
Mm-hmm. That is very interesting, and I think it cuts into some aspects of climate change and energy efficiency and all those SDGs. Are you planning to do some tests in Kenya?
Yeah, so that is sort of my aim, but I'm at the moment I'm a little bit behind with the sort of the objectives that I laid. But the final bit of my study should be to do tests, sort of the acceptability tests of the cooking pot that I'm looking forward to develop from this field. So that would be that. Ideally, doing it in any part of Sub-Saharan Africa would make sense. So I'm not only basing it in Kenya, but any part of Sub-Saharan Africa. So I think that will be coming up if when done with the part of automating the pot comes to life. Yeah.
Okay, we will. I will keep an eye on that. That is super interesting. Definitely, I think many people would benefit, because quite a number of Kenyans are residing in like power. We don't have power in most of the countryside. But anyway, that is interesting. Just because of time,
Yeah.
Kevin, I want you to just look back, reflect to when you completed high school from Lions High, and then you've made so much strides in your academic career to where you are now in one of the elite universities in the world. If you look back to that Kevin of 17 years, 18 years, what is one lesson you've learned that Kevin can pick up from?
Well, I think there's a lot to learn from the journey, but the main one that stands for me is to think of progress as a day thing. So know that whatever you do today will count some other day. So do it to your perfection. So I think the 18-year-old Kevin has prepared this Kevin to be where they are. So thinking of each day as a chance to make progress towards the future version of yourself. I think that would be the biggest lesson that I pick, and trying to give your best wherever you find yourself today. Like, live it little, bite it little by little, bit by bit, and know that even if you don't reap benefits tomorrow, they'll come at a particular time when the time is right, so they say.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And I want to say thank you, because I know you are a busy PhD student, so thanks for creating time to be here. If you don't have anything else.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting me. It's been an interesting discussion, and I hope we have more of these, just to share our stories and inspire someone outside there, that you just need to do your bit, and the rest will take care of themselves. So when you have the chance, do it to your perfection, and then present yourself for more opportunities, and surely you learn them.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Kevin.